should be fine, actually. Yeah.
Welcome to another podcast of Adeel Pirzada podcast. Today, we got a really informative podcast, and we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about some stuff that's happening right now. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I am Adeel Pirzada, the real deal here, and I'm here with my co-host Kevin Padillo. How are you doing, Kevin?
Hey, feeling great. Glad to be here. Hello, everyone. Eid Mubarak to everyone.
Oh yeah, today's Eid as well, and actually we're recording the video on the Eid day, so it's the celebrations for after Ramadan. So yeah, and as we do it every Friday, so yeah, I guess nothing can stop us from doing what we need to do and be here for this podcast.
Yeah, we were so close to moving it, but
yeah,
we did it. A deal pushed through.
Yeah,
I kind of wanted to stay home and eat, but that's fine. All right, everyone. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Welcome to the Adeel Pirzada podcast. Glad to be here today. My name's Kevin. I am the gracious co-host for Adeel. And today I want to introduce our company, the Pircon group of companies. We have so many companies that we work with, but the main ones I want to share with you are our general contracting and design firm, where we build retail and restaurant locations. We do many other things, but these are the main things that we work with. We do design build, we do building permits, we do development permits. We are experts in commercial kitchen build outs. So if you have a kitchen that you want to build, a restaurant with a hood, and you want that fitted nicely, go ahead and send us a message. Our team can help you. Anything regarding construction we can do to help. You can visit our website, pircongroup.com, and on our website here, there is a contact form where you could reach out to us, where you could go. It's under the 3 lines. If you're on your phone, and you could press contact, and then it says drop us a line, name, email, business. Tell us about your project. Just tell us about what you need. And alternatively, you could also message us on WhatsApp there, so you could share. So pircongroup.com, visit our website and apply for a quote, and let's get started.
Yeah, and actually, if you got a project, like Kevin said, we actually do all the commercial stuff, and we're gurus in doing tenant improvements. That's the word. The commercial interior retail work is mainly the tenant improvement work for all the commercial. So yeah, we've been doing that for a very long time, and we're pro and expert on that stuff. So if you need help, and if you got a real project, if you're looking for quotation, if you're looking for estimate on that, and talk to our team about your construction, your timelines and schedule, you can actually directly go in pircongroup.com/forms, and you can fill out a project form right on our website, and it'll ask you, there's about 11 questions, just ask you basic information, but that goes straight to our estimating team, and then we can start the process of looking at a project and getting it to where you need to have in order to get your construction started.
Yeah, so I'll post both links down below, and you can get started. Feel free to look at all our projects as well. We've done so many more projects. How many would you say we've done? Adeel, total?
Oh man, I have, yeah.
Guessed me?
In like total, like this year, or
maybe in total, like
in numbers, in hundreds. So I don't know the exact number. And then there's different varieties. Like what you'll see on our website is just mainly the commercial tenant improvement work, but we have done very, very different projects too. But this is the one that we do in a massive amount, and you need, expertise on that, help with that. But yeah, if you get projects of different kinds, even like a build up, you'll see that on our websites pretty soon, and then we're doing those as well, and we can help you with that.
For sure. You can see our the owners that helped, and also our timelines as well.
Yeah.
So just as we jump into it today I really want to introduce the topic which is something really interesting that maybe is on your mind, especially when it comes to money, especially when it goes to considering your groceries and your bills and the rising costs of food all over the world and gas. Today's topic is the world economy and the dollar, and Adeel and I will be sharing and enlightening you on our thoughts on it, and Adeel will be, sharing his thoughts on it. And I know you wanted to push this topic, Adeel, so you're excited.
Yeah, I think we discussed that. We had actually a really great podcast last week. So we had a guest from the EOS system. So that was there. Actually, you should check out that podcast. It's really good for the entrepreneurs and then the business owners. But I think one prior to that, we were trying to cover that topic just because I was in the USA previously too. And then you want to talk about economy and the dollar, and especially about the US dollar and the US economy, right? And the world economy as well, but mainly the US because that's more important. That's where the most of the stuff is happening. But we never got the time to cover that. And we also wanted to cover like some stuff from the Grand Cardone, the real estate summit that I had attended. So there are a lot of things that were left. And as we have we're trying to have the guest on our podcast, and those are mostly the entrepreneur and business related stuff, and then people from the real estate industry and the construction, and then the owners. I think next couple of weeks we got some really exciting guests coming down, and then they will be sharing a lot of good information, which is obviously is good for your business and good for entrepreneurship and good for your personal growth. So, but yeah, so these are the topics that were kind of left behind, and we're gonna cover as we go into the next coming weeks. And then, yeah, one of the topics was the world economy and the dollar, and Kevin wanted to talk about that, and we've been discussing that within the team and what we're looking at it. So we thought it's a good opportunity today to discuss about that and discuss about the economy and where things are, because this is a pretty hot topic right now. Yeah. So yeah, Kevin, what do you think?
Yeah, especially for a business owner, maybe there's some things on your mind, whether you own a business and you don't have a lot of customers coming in, and you see your rent being owed and all this stuff, and whether that's on your mind, we want to help show the threats and show the opportunities and the next steps that you can take to succeed during these tough, trying times. I'm glad to experience this. Like I'm not as old as Adeel, but I know that
you make me sound like I'm a freaking dinosaur or something.
Yeah. Well, I didn't experience the 2008, market collapse. I was probably really young at that time, but I know that many people have experienced hard times during that moment. So I'm glad as a young man I could experience this, because I could tell my children like, oh, I was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yes, Adeel. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the economy right now? What's happening in the world?
Well, I mean, what's happening in the world right now, there is the USA and then there is the entire world. So, and I think things kind of start from the USA, because that's the world power, at least right now. But what it is just the inflation. We all know because of COVID, we had, it's all about supply and demand. So we had inflation, and now we're seeing the effects of that. So that's what it is, which is basically money tightening, right? Which is going to make the dollar kind of more precious, meaning the dollar price is high, and that's just kind of adds into the inflation around the world. It's harder to exchange in your own currency, like the countries, and then they have to use the US dollar, which is obviously another inflation factor in all around the world, right? So it's a very vague question, like what's happening. If I don't know if you want to be more specific, then I can share my thoughts. But there's a lot happening. There's the U.S. dollar keep rising in amount, its value compared to the other currencies, then the interest rate, which is interconnected with the U.S. dollar. So that is keep rising, and that's the kind of main issue. And then it has different effects, and we're just seeing those effects.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do my best to explain this as the best as I can. My thoughts. I know back in the COVID-19 days, they had the governments pumping and printing a lot of money to make up for all the lack of things in the economy. Lots of less dollars were being spent. People are not working, and people needed money to survive and live. So I know the government was printing lots of money. The CERB was being given out. Biden was printing a lot of money for business owners and different people to get a check. And a lot of money was being printed during this time, which caused a lot of debt. And that actually is showing towards, the enemies of the United States, people that don't like the United States, and maybe they want to threaten an empire. What I have been observing is that people are seeing, different countries getting weaker, and they want to take advantage of that time. And so recently, Saudi Arabia, China, and Russia signed a recent agreement to spend each other's money and spend money investing into, for example, by announcing on Monday a $3.6 billion deal to buy 10% of China's oil, Roshan Petrochemical, which should supply 480,000 barrels per day of crude oil to the company. What does it mean is that people are spending money in different places. Normally, you would be in the States or places like Canada, but that could mean a bigger impact on our economy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I'm just saying.
I guess you're trying to explain how you understand it.
Yes.
And I mean, like I said, it's a very vague question, like what's happening with the economy. There is a lot happening, but this is one of the elements that's happening with the economy. And yeah, you're right. I feel the same way. That's my opinion too, and that I think exactly what it is. U.S. just get up and can print money whenever they want. Basically, because it's not tied to anything. It's not tied to gold like it used to be. And back in 1940s, they actually no, it was in 1970s, I think, when they took the dollar off the gold. And it's not tied to anything, so it just costs them a couple cents to print a $100 bill, basically, and they can just print how much they want, whatever they want. Yeah, they have a balance sheet they have to worry about, but when they need money and when they think they need the money, they'll just print it. And the U.S. economy being the world economy, I mean, this dollar being the world currency, sorry, not the economy, the currency that we use, we shouldn't even call it money because it's not. It's currency. It's just a way of exchanging. It's being that's how the world buys and sells stuff, but it's not in their benefit because they have to work really hard. Like someone in China or Russia have to work really hard in order to earn that dollar. Even the USA, but the federal bank, which is not a bank and it's not federal, they can just go ahead and print it whenever it's needed or whenever they think it's needed and whenever they need to bail out. And with those banks collapsing, that's another topic to go over. The USA banks collapsing and then Silicon Valley Bank collapsing. So the USA government will come in and they will just bail them out and they will just print all that money, which is basically creates inflation in other countries in a way. And it's not only that, it's just like they have to work for that dollar where USA just can print it. So it's not really, they think it's not a really fair deal to the rest of the world. And that's why they are uniting now to kind of fight against that. Right. And then how they're trying to do that is by having a common currency or using each other currency and exchange in that and not exchange in US dollars, which creates not as much demand for US dollars around the world. So that's the hot topic in the world right now, right? In relation to the economy and the USA dollar. So yeah, that's what's happening on the forefront. But I mean, there are so many reasons and things behind that. And I think one common question that we were discussing within our team too is that is US dollar, is it in danger, right? That's what you were wanting to, is it in danger? So whatever is happening right now.
And what does it mean for us at home?
Yeah, what does it mean for other countries, and especially Commonwealth countries and countries that are, heavily dependent on USA and to the United States dollar? I mean, USA is a really big economy, and it's and that's why it's a superpower, and that's why it's the world top economy, because there's a lot of people there, and there's a lot of technology in USA, which makes USA unique in many ways, right? They have all the power, they got all the people in a way. It's not a small country, and they got all the resources, and so they got a lot of good stuff happening to them. So I don't see that going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
Right?
So this is a great introduction that we have going on. It's a great, introduction, because I think there's many layers to do this, and I'm learning that
you need to come more prepared.
I need to come more prepared with facts.
Questions.
I can't be, being a poor informer for you guys. So.
Yeah, we're not expert on this. We're just sharing our opinion and, with some facts, right? So we're sharing opinion, how we see it and how we hear from other people, and how I kind of see it, right? And how, and as a CEO of the company, I have to kind of look at these things and also look at the future, what's happening, and then what's around us. And, it's a good thing to do. So, this channel is about entrepreneurship and business ownership and construction and real estate. So this is definitely, you need to be in touch with, right? You need to know if you're a small business owner, like if you own franchises, you own, a mechanic shop, you own different, you have an office business. You're like an architect or something, or a planning department, then you have a group of people in an office. You're in a business of, one way or another, and then you need to kind of look at it, what is for the company and what is for the economy. Something, to look into. It's important for everyone. Even you don't have a, business, even you just work for someone, it's good to know what it is, where you're at, and yeah, it's good to be familiar with this stuff so you can just make the right decisions.
For sure.
Yeah.
Last thing I just want to leave with you all. I learned a valuable thing in marketing school, actually. When I went to Mount Royal, they taught this really one thing. I swear it's like one of the very few things that I remember from university. It's called the SWOT analysis. It's really good. It's a great way just to look at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in a market or in your business. It's a great way, and it's a great way to look at it. You can use it if you run a division like me. I run the marketing division for the company, and I use it for all my divisions sometimes, and I look at what's an opportunity, what's a threat, how can we use that. And I've used it for other businesses I've held in the past, and it was really useful. So I want to leave that with you. You could look up SWOT analysis on Google, and something that could be valuable for you. But as we finally land the plane, I know today is a shorter episode. I think, what do you think, Adeel? Maybe we could do some more layers to this at some point in the future, next Fridays.
Yeah, we could do a lot of layers to that. I know that you personally wanted to know, and you're kind of worried what is happening to the USA and the economy, and it's in danger, and I don't know if it's gonna kind of like something's gonna happen and it's not gonna stay the superpower. And not only that, the dollar is in big danger. But this is what I say: if U.S. in trouble, like Canada is in a bigger trouble. So don't think like we're not tied to them, or even like the other countries or the West in a way is not tied to them. Where a lot of countries are tied to USA, and I think they're in trouble. I think the whole West is in a way it's kind of in trouble because how we've been handling our economy and our dealings with money, So, but is it in like trouble and something's going to happen tomorrow? I don't think so. It takes a long time to kind of build a nation and to have that kind of power. So it's not going to go away overnight. Also, it's a couple of things that I actually wanted to discuss, but we can go in detail. And especially if you guys are viewers, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, let us know. Is not only the U.S., is going where it's going with the economy. If it's the dollar is going to become in danger, and should we even be using dollars? Should we have like Chinese yuan or like other currencies that we're going to use? And if it's that kind of matter, which I don't think it's not. It's going to take some time, but it looks like it's going to happen. There is, there is a transfer of power that is happening. But I just want to leave you with one thing, right? Just a very common sense question, which how I kind of convince myself that it's nothing that's immediate, is that if you don't trust the USA or its dollar, which other country are you going to trust? Let me just put it this way. If you don't want to live in the USA, or let's say in, some civilized Western countries, the first world countries, and so USA, let's say, is the king of that. And if you don't want to live there, and the opportunity and the capitalism it kind of brings within the country, if you're not willing to live there, where are you going to live? So maybe one of those BRICS countries. So you think Brazil is going to be better, or India, or China, or South Africa, or Saudi Arabia. Where would you want to live? If, and I'm talking about right now. So is it still the USA where you still find the most freedom and the most opportunity? Or is it going to be somewhere else and you're willing to move there? So that's something I want to leave you guys with, and think about that, and do you think if you're ready to go out of the USA and go somewhere, you're going to find the same opportunity and same kind of environment? Which I don't see it. No matter where you live, there's different types of governments and different types of rules and laws are in place, which really doesn't help the whole economy and the business environment. So I still think the U.S. is the best country, but I want to leave you guys with that, and we'll cover into the other points, like into the other aspects of the U.S. dollar and the U.S. reserve and the U.S. economy. And then, like I said, if you guys have any questions or if you guys have any comments, do let us know, and we'll try to cover that in our next coming podcast.
For sure, yeah. And I know I said we'd promise we'd share some opportunities and actions. I did kind of get lost off time today, and we have a short timeline for today's podcast. But please stay tuned. to our upcoming podcast episodes on this topic. Stay posted to the headline. I'll make sure you could see it and easily find it. And maybe I could put it into like one article or on one web page, and you could find all episodes on the economy, the state of economy, and advice for you from experts on how to be successful during this change of power in the world. Stay tuned. We'll make sure we do that. We want to help equip you in the future for your success and survival and growth. And yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. This is Kevin with Pircon Group. And
thanks everyone. We'll see you next Friday on a next exciting podcast of the Adeel Pirzada podcast. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.